it or how the rain would pour.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Parsha Puppet Show. I'm Rabbi Wagshol, and this week we are going to learn Parshas Chayei Sarah. And now I would like to introduce my co-host, Rabbi Parsha.
Hello everybody, hello, it's me, Rabbi Parsha. I'm here to teach you about the Parsha. Wait a minute, we don't have any students. Where are all the students?
I don't know.
Hi Rabbi Parsha, sorry I'm late.
Oh, look, it's Sarala. Sarala, did you come to learn the Parsha?
Yeah, Rabbi Parsha, what's the Parsha?
Well, very good, you came, Sarala, because the Parsha has your name in it, Sarah.
Oh, is it Chayei Sarah?
That's right, Chayei Sarah, the life of Sarah.
Oh boy, I'm so excited to hear the story of Parshas Chayei Sarah.
Okay, so let me tell you the story. The story starts off that Torah says that Sarah lived 100 years plus 20 years plus 7 years, 127 years. And that was the life of Sarah. Then she passed away in Kiryas Arba, which is Hebron.
What? Wait a second. Hold on, Rabbi Parsha, I don't understand.
What don't you understand? It's very clear. She lived 127 years, then she passed away.
But I don't understand. How could the Parsha that's called the life of Sarah speak about right away how Sarah passed away? Then, if she passes away right in the beginning of the Parsha, then why is it called the life of Sarah?
Very good question, Sarah. Would you like to hear a beautiful answer that I heard?
Yes, please. I'm very, very perplexed.
Sounds like a very difficult question. Rabbi Parsha, do you have a good answer?
I heard a very nice word.
The life of Sarah was dedicated to the Jewish people. The Jewish people, Am Yisrael, was the whole purpose of her life, that we should be the chosen people. She thought that Yishmael should be sent away from her son Yitzchak, and she wanted that the Yidden should only have the claim to the land of Israel, and this was very important in her life. Sarah was so dedicated to Yitzchak, being the Jewish people coming from Yitzchak and making the world the place for Hashem, like Hashem wanted, that she could not bear to hear the news that Yitzchak would die. In fact, our rabbis tell us that this is the reason that she passed away.
Why is that?
Well, because someone came to her and said, Sarah, did you hear? Avram, your husband, took your son Yitzchak and tied him up and put out a knife to shecht him.
Ay vey, she must have been really, really scared.
Yes, and then he said, at the next moment, he said, oh, and then Hashem stopped him, and it was all a test, and he's okay. And Sarah could not take this shock, and she passed away from hearing this story.
Wow, so it was really important to her that Yitzchak would live in this world. She couldn't hear such a thing.
That's right. And this Parsha actually is the fulfillment of her dream, because her dream was that Yitzchak should live and should marry a good woman, a worthy woman, and he should be able to have children and raise up the next generation of Avram's children, the Bnei Yisrael, the Jewish people. And this is what happens in her Parsha named after the life of Sarah. Yes, she was not alive in this Parsha, but her life's mission carried on. Her dear son Yitzchak lived and got married, and then Avram Avinu married Hagar again, as we'll learn later, but he sent away all the other children that he had at the end of the Parsha, and he only chose Yitzchak to be the Jewish people. And not to mention, Avram buys the first piece of Eretz Yisrael in this week's Parsha. So these are the dreams of Sarah, and that's why the Torah, we call this Parsha in the Minhag, in the custom, Chayei Sarah, the life of Sarah.
Wow, that's beautiful. So Rabbi Parsha, how old did you say that Sarah was again when she passed away?
Well, the Torah says she was 100.
100 years old.
Plus 20.
100, that's 120 plus 7. That's 127. Why doesn't the Torah say 127? Why does the Torah say 100 plus 20 plus 7?
Very good question, Sarala. Rabbi Parsha, I think the answer is found in Rashi. That's right. The Rashi says that all of her years were equally good. The Torah wants us to know that each part of her life, when she was 100, she was still like a 20-year-old regarding Averos, regarding sins, just like a 20-year-old is not old enough to be punished because they're not fully matured until they're 20. So too, Sarah, even at 100, she had nothing that she did wrong.
Oh, wow. And what about the 7 years?
When she was 20, she was still as young and beautiful, like a 7-year-old young girl that is still very, very beautiful without any wrinkles or blemishes.
Oh, very interesting. Wow. So, what happened next?
Avraham Avinu was very sad about his wife, so he came from Beersheba. He came to Hebron, and he came to cry for Sarah and to say good things about her, called a eulogy, to tell everyone how special she was.
Wow, that's so sad. Avraham Avinu was crying for his wife Sarah. You know, does the Torah always say about everyone crying when someone passes away?
Well, sometimes, but not all the time.
So why does the Torah stress it over here? Is there a lesson that we learn over here?
Actually, there's a beautiful lesson. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so according to Kabbalistic sources, Avraham represents the neshama, the soul.
Oh, interesting.
And Sarah Imenu represents the body. And when the body passes away from this world, the neshama still is alive. Avraham Avinu is still alive, and the neshama comes and cries for the body that passed away.
Wait a second, why would the neshama cry for the body? The neshama could go up to Shemayim and be next to Hashem. The neshama doesn't have to be sad that he left the body. The neshama should be happy that he could go up to Hashem now and be next to Hashem.
That's very true, But the neshama knows that the body was very, very helpful to it, that only through the body was the neshama able to do mitzvahs and come even closer to Hashem than ever before it came to the body. So the body is very, very heilig, because from the body we can do mitzvahs.
Wow.
And did you know, Rabbi Parsha and Sarala, it says that when Mashiach comes, the neshama, the soul, will get life from the body instead of the body getting life from the soul.
Wow, that's an amazing thing.
Because the body is the one that brings down Hashem's will, Hashem's mitzvahs into the world. The neshama can't do it without the hands and without the feet that do those mitzvahs. So everybody, get out there and use your hands and feet for mitzvahs. Hey Chaim, what are you doing in the bike store?
Oh, Rabbi Waxel, I came to buy a new bike to get to yeshiva.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Does anyone work here? Hello? Hello? Oh, hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Sir, I want to buy that nice-looking new bike over there. How much does it cost?
Oh, that bike? For you, such a nice yeshiva boy? That you can take it. It's free. Take it.
Wait a minute. Rabbi Waxel, this sounds weird. In a bike store, they're going to give away a beautiful, expensive bike for free. I think this guy might be setting me up or something. I don't know. This sounds like a scam. No, sir. I really don't want to take a bike for free. I want to own it. I want it to be mine, legally, fair, and square, so you can't say any backseas, okay?
Okay.
So, I saved up some money. How much is it going to be? Well, for such a nice yingler like you that I like so much, we're really good friends. We're really good friends. I don't know who you are. Well, just how much is it already? Only $400. $400? Oh my gosh, that is a lot of money for a bike. Wow. Are you sure it's so much money? Yes, it's not a lot of money. You want to take it for free? No. Okay, fine. All right. I have it. I'll give it to you. Okay, sir. Here you go. $400. I'm sorry. No paper money accepted. No paper money accepted? What type of money do you accept in this bike store? Monopoly money? And no. In this bike store, we only take silver dollars, 400 silver dollars, because in other countries, they don't take paper dollars from this country, they take silver, because silver is worth money everywhere. What? Oh my gosh, silver dollars are worth much more than regular dollars. Rabbi Wagshal, that's like many times the price. I'm fed up. This is a crazy... This must be some type of a scam store. I'm out of here. I'm going. Wait a minute. Chaim, come back. What? Hey, Rabbi Parsha, was that really you? Chaim, how did you like your Parsha lesson? My Parsha lesson? That was a lesson in trickery and deceit. You were trying to trick me to giving you 400 silver dollars. That's ridiculous. Pretending you're giving it to me for free? That's exactly what happened to Avram Avinu. What? Avram Avinu was going to buy a bike and he got charged $400? No. In the Parsha of the week, Avram Avinu comes to the people of Chayei. After Sarah passes away, after Avram finished crying and eulogizing, making speeches about Sarah, he brought Sarah's body to the area of the Bnei Chayei, where they had a very special place, the Me'aras HaMachpelah, the cave, the double cave that Avram knew that Adam and Chava were buried over there. Oh, okay. And he bought it for $400? Well, first, he found out who it belonged to, someone named Ephraim. And when the people heard that Ephraim was wanted by Avram Avinu, they gave him a lot of honor and made him a leader. And Ephraim came and he bowed to Avram. Oh, Avram. And Avram bowed to the people of Chayei. And Ephraim said, oh, Avram, such a leader, you are a prince of Hashem, just take it for free. But Avram knew, just like you figured out, that this Ephraim was not sincere. This could be a scam. They would take it back from him later. And Avram wanted the whole world to know that Eretz Yisrael belongs to his children, and he really bought it. Yeah, so he agreed to pay him 400 shekels, right? 400 silver shekels. But then, when he came to pay, Ephraim said, no. I don't want regular silver shekels. I want over laseicher. I want the kind accepted every place. Wow. So basically, that's what you were trying to teach me in the bike shop. Yeah. Wow. Ephraim pretended to be a nice guy, but he was really greedy. Was that a lot of money in those days? You bet it was. It was a lot of money, but Avram Avinu paid it. And to this day, everyone knows that Me'aras HaMachpelah belongs to the Yidden. It's written in the Torah. And there are those people who try to deny it, but to this day, Yidden live over there in Hebron with great self-sacrifice. In fact, usually every year on the Parshas Chayei Sarah, many Yidden from all over the world and all over Eretz Yisrael for sure come and they sleep in Hebron for Shabbos. They have a big Shabbaton to remember how Avram bought the Me'aras HaMachpelah this week. Wow, that's great. I wish I could go. And so once Avram bought the Me'aras HaMachpelah, he buried over there Sarah, and later on Avram himself got buried there, and so on, Yitzchak and Rivka, and then Yaakov and Leah, and we will learn about it
later on in the other coming Parshas.
Wow, what a very heilige place. Wow, honey, this is such a beautiful doll. I love it. I so much enjoyed playing dolls with you. Oh, Sarah, my pleasure. I love playing with you too. But it's time to go home now. Have a good night. I'll play tomorrow. I was really thinking, I really wanted to show my mommy this doll. Do you think I could take it home and show it to her so she could buy me one also? And I'll bring it back tomorrow. It's Hashem b'li neder. Well, Sarah, that doll is very precious to me. I guess so, but you know what? Oh, I know. Here, hold on a second. Here. Chani, what's with your silver candlestick? I want you to put your hand on my silver candlestick. What? And I want you to swear that you will bring it back tomorrow. Rabbi Waxel, is this legal?
Sarla and Chani, what's going on over here? Actually, we're not supposed to swear. It's not a good thing to swear for no reason, and in fact, swearing is a very, very serious thing. Chanala, if you don't trust Sarla, you shouldn't really give it to her. Why are you making her swear?
Yeah, and why do you want me to put my hand on the candlestick? Well, because the candlestick is used for a mitzvah, and it's very precious to me. So what? Well, I learned it in the Parsha that you put your hand on something that's very, very precious.
Oy vey, Chanala, you're a riot. That is very, very funny. Okay, Sarla, let me explain over here what Chani is talking about.
Yeah, this sounds a little bit crazy, just for a doll to make me put hands on a candlestick and swear. What's going on over here? But it says it in your Parsha. What, Rabbi Waxel?
Let me explain. So, in this week's Parsha, when Avram Avinu was getting very old, and he wanted his son Yitzchak to finally get married to a good wife, he heard in the end of last week's Parsha that a daughter was born to Avram's family, Avram's brother Nachor, who married Milcah, had a child named Besuel, and Besuel had Rivka. And so Avram Avinu decided to send his servant Eliezer to go find a wife for Yitzchak, his son. But he told Eliezer, I want you to be certain to take a wife from my family, from the place where I was born, not to go to the wicked people who live close by over here of Canaan, and not even your own daughter. Medrash says that Eliezer had a daughter, and he wanted his daughter to marry Yitzchak, but Avram said, I'm so sorry, because you are from the family of Chum that got the curse by Noach. I don't want my son, who got a bracha from Hashem, to marry into the family that got a curse.
Oh, so what does it have to do with swearing on my candlestick?
Well, I'm coming to that. So Avram wanted Eliezer to swear to do his mission faithfully, but to swear, it was a custom in those days, and even still today, to put your hand on something very holy, very special. Now, they didn't exactly have a Chumash yet, they didn't exactly have a Sefer Torah yet, right? So what could they use?
Yeah, what could they use?
Well, Avram Avinu, the first mitzvah that he had was the mitzvah of bris milah. So he told Eliezer to put his hand under his leg, which is close to the area of the bris milah. And that way Eliezer is going to swear to be faithful and do the mission that Avram gives him.
Oh, now I get it. But I really don't want to put my hand and swear. A Yid shouldn't be swearing. It's very, very serious. Okay, you know what? I'll trust you, Sarah. Thank you, Chani. Hello, Chevy. Welcome. Hello, Rebbetzin Parsha. Thank you so much for inviting me. So, Chevy, I hear that you came back from seminary in Eretz Yisrael. Yes, Rebbetzin Parsha. And I'm really excited to meet you and to start talking about shidduchim. I heard that you're a very good shadchan. Yes, I'm a very good shadchan. Yes, I love shadchanis, just like in the parsha of the week of Eliezer was a very good shadchan with Yitzchak and Rivka. Very good. So, do you need like a resume or something? Do you want to ask me about some questions? No. Actually, what I want you to do is I want you, please, to come over here to the back. Where are we going? Just come with me. What on earth, Rebbetzin Parsha? What is that gigantic camel doing over there? Oh, Chevy, I would like you to please give the camel water to drink. Give the camel water to drink? What kind of interview is this? It's an interview. This is called the Eliezer Shadchan Shidduch test. The Eliezer Shidduch test? Oh my, I never heard of this. Okay, Rebbetzin Parsha, this is like the 10th bucket of water I'm going to give the camel. Here you go, Mr. Camel.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, a talking camel? Anything can happen in the Parsha puppet shows. Rebbetzin Parsha, I know the story from the Torah says that Eliezer got a wife for Yitzchak by seeing which kind girl would fill up water for all the camels. But Rebbetzin Parsha, this is like a little bit too much. We're not living in those times anymore. Do you think my chassan is going to want me to give water to all of his thirsty camels? Maybe, you never know.
Oy vey. Rebbetzin Parsha, I think that this is a little bit extreme, no?
Okay, maybe. I just wanted to teach the Parsha. I love the Parsha, Rabbi Wagshaw, please save me over here.
Okay, Chevy. Rebbetzin Parsha, let's just teach the kids the Parsha. And how about we ask Chevy to tell the story? And if she knows it well, then maybe you can give over that information to a prospective shidduch, how well she's a real Talmida Chachama.
Okay, very good. Okay, kids, so this is what happened, okay? So, Avram Avinu wrote down a document with all of his possessions, and he gave it to Eliezer. And he loaded up with 10 camels full of the best stuff his master had, delicious fruits, gold and silver gifts, and clothing. And he sent him to go down out of Eretz Yisrael, to go to where Avram came from, across the river, and to go and to find a wife. And Eliezer traveled, and a big nace happened, which we'll talk about later. And he came there, and it was already the evening time, and the girls were coming out to draw water. And Eliezer said, how am I supposed to know which girl comes from the family of Avram, and if she's the right one? So Eliezer said, Hashem, please help me, help my master Avram. If a girl's going to come over, and I'm going to ask her for a drink, and she's going to be so nice that she's going to give me a drink and all my camels a drink, I'm going to know that this is the one that you chose. And sure enough, he saw Rivka coming, and she was holding a pitcher of water on her shoulder, and he went to her. He said, excuse me, young lady, please can I have some water from your jug? And she said, sure, my master, I will give you and your camels. And Eliezer was so excited, and he waited in astonishment to see if the sign would come true. Wait a minute, why was he waiting? It already came true. But maybe she would charge him money afterwards. That wouldn't be such a nice chesed, right? Oh, I see. And after he saw that she was such a good and kind girl, Eliezer told her, excuse me, I want to give you something. And he gave her a special present. He gave her a special nose ring. A nose ring? Yeah, in those days they wore nose rings, which weighed 1 beka, and then he gave, which is a certain weight, and he gave her 2 bracelets, which weighed 10 shekel. And then Eliezer asked her, whose daughter are you? And wait a second, he gave her the presents before asking her, whose daughter are you? Yes, Eliezer had so much emunah and betachin that Hashem would show him the right girl. He already gave her the gifts before she even told him who she was, because he knew that she must be the right one. Wow, that is tremendous emunah and betachin. Amazing. And what happened next? He asked her if she has place. Once she found out that she was the daughter of Besuel, he said, do you have place for us to sleep tonight? And she ran to tell her mother. Amazing. Chevy, you're such a smart girl. I think that you would make a very, very good shidduch. I have some suggestions for you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for not making me feed the camel anymore. That was really tough work. Chaim, please come eat dinner. Dinner's getting cold. I'm sorry, Mommy. I am not gonna eat until I do my homework. What?
Chaim, is everything okay? Are you feeling well?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. Chaim, what is this? I never heard of this in my life, that you should refuse to eat, and until you do your homework? I mean, that's really studious of you for being such a good student, but are you feeling okay? Yes, Mommy, I'm feeling great. I just wanted to copy what I learned in the Parsha. What? The Parsha told you not to eat until you do your homework? This I gotta hear.
Oh, I think I know what Chaim is talking about.
What is it?
In this week's Parsha, Eliezer finally comes to meet the family of Rivka. And as he's standing there with the camels, Rivka's brother Lavan runs up. Ooh, goody, goody, goody. A man with a lot of money, because he saw the gifts, the golden nose ring and the bracelets that were given to his sister. And he ran up to try to get some money. And he said, come, sir, blessed one of Hashem. Why are you standing outside? I cleaned out the house.
Oh yeah, and the rabbis say that he cleaned out the house from any idol worship, right?
That's right. He told Eliezer, I know that you're from Avram's house and you don't like idols, so I cleaned it out, and we have food for your camels. Come on! And Eliezer came, and they sat down, and of course, as is customary, inviting guests, they put down some food in front of him, and Eliezer said, I will not eat until I have spoken my words that I got from my master Avram Avinu to say.
Oh, so that's why Chaim doesn't want to eat his dinner until he does his homework, just like Eliezer didn't want to eat. Chaim, you're a real character. Yeah, thank you, Mommy.
So Eliezer came inside and started to tell the story. First, the Torah says that he opened up the muzzles of the camels and gave them food before he started that, because it's a mitzvah to feed your animals before you sit down to eat.
Oh, and I know that he had to open up the muzzles of the camels because Avram Avinu's camels and sheep have muzzles, so they shouldn't steal from other people's stuff. Well, that's right. What a Talmid Chacham.
What happened is that he told them how Hashem made a miracle after miracle for him, how he went so fast from Avram's house to the house of Besuel and Haran, and how he made a tefillah, he prayed to Hashem and made a sign that the girl that comes and is so kind to give him and his camels water should be the one, and how he asked her whose family she was, and then he gave her gifts.
Now wait a minute, I thought it was the opposite. I thought he first gave her the gifts and then he asked her, because he knew that Hashem would have chosen the right girl.
That's right. However, when Eliezer was telling them, Besuel and Lavan, the story, he did not want to sound, they didn't want them to think he was crazy to go give precious gifts before knowing who she was. They wouldn't understand. They would think he's crazy. So he didn't say that. Oh, okay. And then, after Eliezer finished telling the story, how he met Rivka, he said, will you let me take Rivka to marry Yitzchak? And Besuel and Lavan answered, how could we answer you, yes or no? It all came from Hashem, this whole story. Our sister can go, our daughter can go with you. And then Eliezer was able to stay overnight, and the next morning he wanted to go back.
Hey Chaim, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just looking at all these fancy schmancy fast cars. Fancy schmancy fast cars? Well, how fast are these cars? Well, look over here. Here we have the famous Bugatti Chiron. The Bugatti Chiron? Okay. What's so special about this car? This car can go 304 miles an hour. What? It's specially engineered to go very, very fast, much more faster than a regular Bugatti. Oh my gosh, Chaim, this is ridiculous. Why do you need such a fast car? Okay, you want a little slower one? There's the Hennessy Venom car. It can go 204 miles an hour. 204 miles, that's still very, very fast. Okay, there's a McLaren Speedtail that goes 250 miles an hour. Maybe you want to take a ride in that. No, actually, I would prefer a car that's much faster than all of those cars. What? Honey, there's no car faster than those cars that I mentioned. Those are the fastest cars in the world. No, actually, in this week's Parsha, there is a faster car. What? A faster car in the Parsha? The cars weren't invented in the Parsha. What are you talking about? Calm down, Chaim, calm down. Let's hear what Chani has in mind. Yes, thank you, Rabbi Waxel. I'm not making it up. In the Parsha of this week, Eliezer goes on a trip from Eretz Yisrael down to Haran, which our rabbis tell us was a 17-day trip by camel. Okay, and he left in the morning, and he got there by the evening. In less than a day, he traveled 17 days' journey. So, I ask you, could your Bugatti go that fast? Probably not. So I'm going to take Eliezer's camel. Oh!
Chani's right. Eliezer's camels probably went faster than your Bugatti, Chaim.
Oh, okay, I'll admit it. Very good, Chani, you got me. Yeah, it was a very, very big nace that Eliezer's camels went so fast. Why did Hashem make such a nace, Rabbi Wagshel?
Very good question. Why did Hashem make such a nace? Well, one answer, if you think about it, was that Avram Avinu did not waste any time. Our rabbis tell us that Rivka was very young. According to some opinions, Rivka was only 3 years old when Eliezer came.
What, 3 years old? How could she go get married at 3 years old?
Avram wanted to take her out of her wicked house of idol worship with Lavan and Besuel and bring her back to Avram Avinu's Helika house at the earliest opportunity when she was legally allowed to get married. The youngest age possible could be 3 years old, even though no one would ever do that. But she came back and she lived over there with Avram and Yitzchak until she got old enough to really be married and have children. And then she was really like a wife to Yitzchak.
Oh, okay. So Avram was in a big rush that Rivka should go. So he should save her from staying one more day in the house of Besuel. So maybe that's why Hashem made the nace.
That's right. And Hashem did not want, and Avram Avinu did not want, Rivka to have one more day in that wicked place. And actually, Chaim and Chani, we could learn over here that when Mashiach is going to come, Hashem is not going to waste one extra second. When it's the time that Hashem finally is ready to bring Mashiach, in one instant Hashem is going to make a nace that it's going to come very, very quickly. And just like Eliezer had a big nace that he went very, very fast, so too Hashem will bring Mashiach when it's the right time in a very quick way.
Wow, Rebbetzin Parsha, what a beautiful wedding. Did you decorate this whole wedding and arrange it? Yes, Shavi, not only am I a shadchanis, but I'm also a wedding planner. How long did it take you? This wedding? It took me at least 6 months to plan. 6 months, wow. That's very, very short for such a beautiful wedding. Actually, it's not the record for a short wedding plan. You should have seen Eliezer, the wedding planner. Eliezer, the wedding planner? What do you mean, Eliezer, the wedding planner? From the Parsha, of course. From the Parsha?
Oh, I know what Rebbetzin Parsha is talking about, Shavi. Rebbetzin Parsha is talking about how Eliezer, the servant of Avram, woke up the next morning. Eliezer gave presents to Rivka, more gold and silver and clothing. And Eliezer gave delicious fruits from Eretz Yisrael to Rivka's mother and brother. And then Eliezer said to them, send me with Rivka to go back to my master. And they said, the mother and brother Lavan said, no. Let her stay here. She has to get ready for her chasana. Let her stay a year to prepare for the wedding, or 10 months. This is the custom in those days, that a girl who's getting ready for a wedding would have a year, or at least 10 months, to get nice clothing and get ready.
Yeah. Okay, so why didn't Eliezer want to give her time to get pretty for her chasna? That makes sense.
Because Eliezer, don't forget, did not want her to stay one more day in that wicked place. And besides, Eliezer told them, don't worry, I came with all my master's things, and Rivka will lack for nothing. She will not have to go and buy any dresses, because everything will be given to her from Avram, who was very, very wealthy.
Oh, that's amazing. And before she left, they gave her a bracha that our sister, you should be like the mother of many, many thousands and hundreds and tens of thousands of people. Wait a second, what happened to her father? Did her father give a bracha? Well, that's a little bit of not such a nice story.
Well, what Rebbetzin Parsha is talking about, there's a medrash that says that actually it was only Lavan that agreed to marry her off, because Besuel already passed away overnight.
What? How did he pass away?
The Medrash says that the wicked Besuel was planning to poison and rob Eliezer, and he put some poison in the food that Eliezer was eating, but a malach came and switched the plates, so the wicked Besuel ate the poison and he passed away.
Oh wow, serves him right. Sarala, yes. Sarala, can you please shut off the lights in your room? It's getting late. Well, Mommy, this week I'm going to keep my lights on in honor of Parshas Chayei until next Shabbos. What?
Till next Shabbos? Sarala, that's a lot of electricity wasted. What are you saying?
Well, just like in the Parsha, the Medrash says that a great nace happened, and Rivka, when she would light the candles, it would be just like Sarah Imenu, and stay from 1 week until the next week. Ay vey, enough shtick. Just close the lights. We get it. You know the Parsha. You're a Parsha expert.
Okay, let's explain to the kids, Sarala, what you're talking about. Actually, it all started when Rivka came back with Eliezer, and they were coming back to Eretz Yisrael, and Rivka looks up, and she sees that Yitzchak was coming back from Be'er Lachai, the place where Hagar lived. According to the Medrash, Yitzchak went to bring Hagar to marry Avram now that Sarah had passed away.
What? Hagar? Was she good again?
Well, actually, Hagar, according to the Medrash, was the daughter of Parai, and she preferred to be in the house of Avram, in Avram's Halakha house, than in the rich, powerful house of her father Parai with all of his idols.
Oh, so she was a good tzaddikus.
Well, yes, she was very special. She actually got a name Keturah in the Parsha, which means like tied, because even though other people wanted to marry her, she tied herself up and she said, I am only going to marry Avram Avinu again one day. And that is what happened.
Wow, so interesting.
Anyway, so when Yitzchak was coming back, Rivka sees Yitzchak. He went out to the field in the evening time before night to daven.
To daven? They davened in those days?
Well, actually, they didn't have like a siddur like we have, but our Chachamim say that Avram Avinu invented davening in the Shachris, in the morning time, and because it says Vayashkim Avram Ba'Baiker, Avram got up early in the morning to speak to Hashem.
Oh wow!
Yitzchak, in our Parsha, he started davening before the evening time, which is our mincha time. And Yaakov, we're going to see later, he stopped at night to daven to Hashem before going to Lavan. Later on, we're going to see when Yaakov is running away from Esav. So Avram made Shachris, Yitzchak made Mincha, and Yaakov made Ma'ariv.
Wow, that's so interesting. So what happened with Rivka?
Well, when Rivka saw Yitzchak, she said to Eliezer, who is that? And she slid down from the camel. She covered her face with a veil to be tznius. And Eliezer said, that is my master Yitzchak. And Eliezer told Yitzchak everything that happened. And Yitzchak took Rivka, and it says he brought her to the tent of Sarah, his mother. But it doesn't say yet that Yitzchak loved her. He brought her over there. The Medrash explains he wanted to see what's going to happen. He wanted to see if she is worthy of being in the tent of the tzaddikus Sarah. And Sarah used to have 3 special miracles that happened in her tent. Miracle number 1, a cloud was always above her tent, showing that Hashem was resting His presence, His Shekhinah there.
Oh wow!
And then miracle number 2 was that whenever she would make dough, the dough would rise and be very, very good, that there was always enough food for the many, many guests that came.
Amazing!
And finally, just what Sarah was talking about, that when she would light candles every Erev Shabbos, they would stay lit from that Shabbos all the way to next Shabbos, even though there was not enough oil for that to happen. It was a nace. Yitzchak brought Rivka into Sarah's tent, and Rivka started once again to have all these 3 nisim, all these 3 miracles happen for her. There was a cloud on the tent, there was a bracha in the dough. When Rivka lit Shabbos candles, they stayed lit from one week until the other.
Wait a second. Wasn't she like 3 years old? How could she light Shabbos candles? And she wasn't married yet.
Well, actually, did you know, Sarala, that this is a source based on this medrash, that girls very, very young, even as young as 3 years old, should start lighting Shabbos candles even before they get married, because Rivka wasn't get married to Yitzchak. And this is why the Lubavitcher Rebbe made a big, big campaign to try to tell all Yiddische Meidlach, all Yiddische girls and mothers, that they should light Shabbos candles, because we need to have more light, more lichterkeit in the world. And this is a special mitzvah that a Jewish girl could do by lighting Shabbos candles and bringing more holiness into the world. She should not wait until she gets older. She should do it right away, even as young as 3 years old, should stand next to her mommy and light Shabbos candles.
Wow, that's amazing. And we get it from Rivka in the Parsha.
That's right. So once Yitzchak saw that these miracles came back, it says that Yitzchak loved her and he was comforted on the passing of his mother because he saw that he married a woman that was righteous just like his mother.
Wow, that's really, really special. Baruch Hashem. Rabbi Waxel, why were these three specific miracles the ones that were chosen by Hashem to happen for Sarah and Rivka?
Great question. I heard a beautiful vart that there's three mitzvahs which are mainly the mitzvahs of every Jewish woman. The first mitzvah is challah, and that mitzvah, taking challah, is hinted in the dough. The second mitzvah is the mitzvah of having a Jewish family with the halakha rules that are supposed to be kept with a Jewish family, called Taras HaMishpacha, family purity, and that's symbolized by the cloud that was on the tent, symbolizing that Hashem is resting on this family. And then Adlakas HaNer, lighting Shabbos candles.
Oh wow, that's really beautiful.
Hey Rabbi Parsha, where are you off to?
Oh, I'm going to the land of the east to see if I can find the lost children of Avram.
The lost children of Avram? What are you saying, Rabbi Parsha?
Don't you know in the Parshas, Avram Avinu had many children from his wife Keturah, which was Hagar. He had Zimran, Yakshan, Midan, Midyan, Yishbak, Shuach.
Okay already. And so what does it have to do with traveling to the lands of the east?
Because it says that Avram sent them all away with gifts to the land of the east while he was still alive, so they don't be with his son Yitzchak.
Avram Avinu was showing that only Yitzchak is his child where the Jewish people will come from. That's very interesting.
So, Chani, when you grow up and you have children one day, I wonder what names would you give your children? Maybe like Avram, like in the Parsha, and maybe like Sarah, like me, or maybe Ishmael. What? Yishmael? Yishmael? Yeah. But Yishmael became a robber and a bad guy. Well, don't you know, by the end of the Parsha, Yishmael does Teshuvah. And there was even famous Yidden named after Yishmael, like Rabbi Yishmael Kohen Gadol, or Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha. What, Rabbi Waxel, is this true?
Yes, Sarala and Chani, it is true. At the end of the Parsha, the Torah says that Avram Avinu lived a good old age of 175 years old, and he passed away, and he was buried by his sons Yitzchak and Yishmael. And Yishmael even let Yitzchak go in front of him to honor Yitzchak, that Avram Avinu chose Yitzchak, and he helped Yitzchak bury Avram Avinu, showing that Yishmael did Teshuvah.
Oh wow, that's very interesting. And what happened next?
Well, the Parsha ends off telling us that Yishmael had many children, Nevayos and Kedar and Adbeel and Mivsam, total of 12 princes, and at the age of 137 years old, Yishmael passes away, and that is how the Parsha ends off.
Wow, that is amazing!
So, Sarala and Chani, what are you going to say by the Shabbos table? It's almost Shabbos.
I think my favorite vart was how Hashem didn't let Rivka stay one extra second in the wicked place. So we should learn to right away run to do our mitzvahs and run away from bad. Yeah, and I'm going to say by the Shabbos table how it's so special that a person should always be nice to everyone, even if you don't even know them or you don't think that they could do anything good for you. Because look what happened. Rivka was nice to Eliezer, and it really, really was a mitzvah that changed her whole life and made her worthy of becoming the Rivka Imenu, the mother of the Jewish people. Beautiful. Good Shabbos.
Oh, it's time to say good Shabbos, 'cause all your work is done. I'm gonna spend a day together with the Holy One.